sweet dear magical friends. Welcome, willkommen to your Psychic Tarot reading with me, Natalie, spelled N-A-T-A-L-E-E, as we open up the energies of your download using the tarot. Make sure that you are liking this video, sharing it if you are guided, and subscribe to the channel. Toggle the notification bell so that you are always notified when you have a new message coming through me to and for you, my dears. Tuning into your energy. I was told to go slower. That might just be for me, and I don't know if that's part of your message, but I don't know. So I'm relaying it to you, telling me to go a little bit slower. Sometimes going through the different brain frequencies to match up with the downloads, which I didn't know that that's what it was until I got into neuroscience and studying the brain. Sometimes I kind of rush through it a little bit, but that kind of is not the point, and that's not it. So I was told to slow down a little bit, and I did. I'm getting that someone's rhythm is a little bit off, so I don't know if that's like a hormonal thing or if that's like a circadian rhythm thing, or if I don't know what that is, but someone's rhythm is a little bit, it feels a little bit like body-like, a little bit off. And I also got something about like blackout curtains, and it was very much like there's blackout curtains and it's like completely dark, and then like a little bit gets pulled back, and then there's like this very intense bright light, but just like a corner of it or just like a very little bit of it. So getting the blackout curtains and the one light peeking through, and feeling kind of it's like jet lag. It's like jet lag. That's what I'm feeling. It's like someone's rhythms or someone's, something's like a little bit off there. Okay. Now I do want to, I'm going to shuffle a little bit more, and I want to tell you about this past weekend. It was the weekend going into the holiday weekend of Halloween, and Mars stationed retrograde. How are you guys doing? Because it was super epic for me, and I'm wondering, okay guys, here's the thing. So my entire life, never liked crowds, always got like physically sick whenever my father tried to take my sister and I to like the Sox game or to like a parade. I was like, oh, I was just like the weird one that just didn't want to go or didn't want to be part of it. And I was definitely the weird one. So, but always like that. I just really, everything in my body just told me to not be part of a big crowd, like just always. So the anxiety and the weird, huge feelings that I felt over the weekend, I thought was about me working so much. And now that I've really sobered up, and this is something so important for you guys, all the baby psychics, for really to understand your ability. It's almost like you come down from a high, or like you've been drunk on emotion and then you sober up. It's kind of, when you get like a psychic download that's that strong, it's impossible to not feel like it's personal or it's personalized. But when you come down from it, and when it like chills for a sec, then you are sober enough, and this was my quarter moon, but I have my moon in Aquarius, so it was even bigger for me. But that's when I was able to really recalibrate, and then I could say, oh my god, what was that? Because guys, me cracking up about working all the time, that's always my life. Like, I'm always working all the time. Like that's the 70, 80, 90 hours a week. That's like normal, and I take really great care of myself. I take wonderful care of myself, and I love everything that I'm doing, and I love all the people that I'm around and that I get to work with and that I get to serve. Like, I love it. I love every part of all of my things that I do. So that totally didn't make sense. And then I was doing some meditations. I was asking Metatron, because it's like, oh my God, this past year, almost coming up on a year this November, now working with Metatron. Oh my God. And so here's what I got, is that it could be teaching me what certain things feel like. And this is another kind of like scary thing, because the last time this happened, I was in an Uber in Los Angeles going to the movies. I'm not going to get into that whole story, but basically what this past weekend was, it was teaching me some kind of feeling, and we're going to test it. This is a psychic test that we're going to run, because everything that I do, that I'm about, that I preach, that I teach, is all empirical, and it's all scientific and hypotheses and testing these things, testing remote viewing, testing psychic ability, testing all of it, right? So we're going to test it, and we're going to see if there are like kind of unprecedented mass deaths a couple days around the total lunar eclipse in Taurus next Tuesday, specifically having to do with a lot of people packed in together. So we'll see, because all the crazy feelings, I'm like, this weekend I felt like my heart was gone, that it was like just grief. It was like heavy grief, and it was really intense, and it was sort of just like uncharacteristic, like even for me being a Cancer rising. So yeah, but this is the thing with that, is if there's some huge mass death event or a couple of events that have to do with a lot of souls all going up at the same time, now I know what that is. Now I know, I'll have it memorized what that feeling is, so that when I feel it again, it'll come in handy, and I might be in a position to either need to leave and get help, or maybe help other people. And this is another part of like how your psychic ability is going to work, you guys, is that when you memorize your intuition feelings of like, oh, this means I need to go, I need to not be here, I don't know what's about to happen, but I need to not be here when it does, that's what you need to do. Okay? And when you test your intuition, when you act on that, you're proven right, and it gets stronger and stronger, and then your intuition, you can't miss it. You know, it's when you don't listen to it and then something happens anyway, and then you're like, oh, I should have gone with my feeling, and then you can go back and you can follow that feeling the next time it comes up, and then you listen to it and it'll come back stronger and stronger. That is how it works. Okay? So let's say you follow your intuition and it was wrong. What happened? Your intuition was probably fed disinformation or misinformation or faulty information. This is one of the ways that con artists and fraudulent people and really ugly souls and just like the grossest people on the planet that are so disconnected from, it's like when you have really evil people or bad people, or even people that are so damaged by maybe drug and alcohol abuse, or like personality disorders or trauma, like when they're so far gone and they're very, very evil, they're what am I trying to say? They're not able to be rehabilitated anymore. Like they're far, and their apparatus, like their brain chemistry, it's all gone. It's all shot to shit. It's okay. They're going to be free. They're going to feel better when they die, but you got to stay away from those people. Okay? Like that's like it's a huge thing, because it's like they have logged out of the chat, and everyone else, you, me, everybody else, we're still logged on to the cosmic internet and interwebs. But if they're totally outside of the chat, they don't know what's going on, and they're just gonna like go out and hurt people. So this is gonna I'm just publishing this so that it's recorded somewhere that we're doing this psychic little experiment. So, you know, maybe this comes in handy for some, you know, teenage girl or teenage boy in 2089, and it helps you. Here you go. That we're doing this, I'm recording this Tuesday, November the 1st for my Wednesday, November the 2nd, psychic tarot reading that comes out every Wednesday, and the lunar eclipse in Taurus is next Tuesday the 8th. So we'll see. And, you know, that's what you do. You basically log all the freaky shit that happens, and then you can use astrology, you can use other correlations, but you need to backlog this stuff. Okay. So let's take a look and see what's going on. Going on with you. I shuffled and I cut your deck, and let us begin. Ooh, right away, we have the Queen of Pentacles with the Five of Cups. Aha. So this is, honestly, this is someone that takes really good care of themselves, like a Queen of Pentacles. This woman or man, they take very, very good care of themselves. They're very grounded. They're very rooted. Now, it depends if they have been able to balance spirituality and practicality, because this could be someone that maybe focuses too much on material stuff and physical stuff. Now, don't get me wrong, it's part of the embodiment to enjoy physical embodiment, and part of that is enjoying fun physical stuff, enjoying sex and food and telephones and toys and pentacles and buying things and, you know, arts and whatever it is, that's part of the lived experience. So we're not shaming any of the Leos out there that are watching this and saying, go fuck yourself, I want to spend my money. No, you're good, everything's good. Okay, it's part of it. It really is part of it. This could be, for this Queen of Pentacles, it could be a little bit of maybe where they have overemphasized that area of life. And this is the same when we like eat our feelings. You know, we don't really want to like eat all this food. We really want the feeling that that food gives us. It's the same thing. This person could be like overspending or being over generous or just having something to do with materialism that maybe left them a little bit, it doesn't give you the feeling that you want. And that's the thing with specifically with purchasing things, that they've studied our brains and that our happiness level spikes super huge when we make that purchase, but then after we have that thing, it goes back down to the level it was previously before we made that purchase. It's kind of what I'm getting with this. So I don't think it's like that big a deal, but we'll see. This is your reading, not mine. So let's take a look. What's going on? What else do we need to know? Ooh, another queen. It's funny. It's just... Okay, so we have the Queen of Swords, the Ace of Swords, and we have the Devil. Not sure. It feels like we can't make jokes anymore. This doesn't have to be a Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising. It can be. It doesn't have to be. This doesn't have to be a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising. It can be. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be women. It could be men. It could be, you know, either or. Don't get hung up on the genders here. This Queen of Swords also has some kind of difficult, they have like this, they're making a difficult decision and they know it. This is someone that has like the awareness of themselves, and this is where having air sign energy really comes into play, is where you can detach. So for instance, it was my moon sign that has kept me like intact enough to grow and heal and be like a healthy human being, you know, for everything. And you do want some kind of ability. It doesn't have to be like an air sign moon, but you need some kind of ability that will allow you to depersonalize your experience so that you can understand it. So that goes for people, us as individuals, but it also needs to be in relationships, business partnerships, family relationships, romantic, of course, relationships, all that jazz. Otherwise, it's too personal. You know, if I would have, and that was me when I was, before I, you know, learned energy work, is that it was one of the, okay, when I really learned it, when I really got the lesson of this depersonalization, and what helped me figure it out really fast over the weekend was when I was a preteen in the Jewel in a suburb. I was living in one of the suburbs at the time, and I was in an aisle, and I remember just feeling all of these, my Hierophants and High Priestesses have heard the story already, but you know, all good teachers, we always repeat our stories, and I just felt like this hatred and this anger and this annoyance, like this, I wanted to strangle, like just like this annoyance that I just felt. And I was like reading the back of a, you know, like a product or something, and I just could not explain it, and it just like lingered. And it turned out that the man on the other side of the aisle, because I had walked down to the end of the aisle and then gotten right in line, he was on his phone with his wife, and he was having this fight with her. And I didn't know that. I don't know if I really heard all of that. I might have heard something like a little bit muffled, but I was getting like very specific feelings and insights, and like I could see things like just in flashes. And you know, that's when I realized, when he was in front of me in line and I was hearing what he was really talking about, and it really corroborated with what I was getting feeling wise and what I was seeing in remote viewing. That actually happened to me a lot earlier, standing in line at Walgreens. The man, and I was like more like a child, and he was in line, and he had this long black wool coat, and I was just like daydreaming, and I was like staring at his back, and then I saw this flash of him as a boy shoplifting, and this, I won't get into the description, but it was like this, it was like I was transported, like everything left, and it was like decades ago, and there were all these things I didn't understand. And so, you know, that kind of thing happens. So the depersonalization is kind of like this person's forte. Like I kind of feel like this person even does it a little bit too much, where they may be able to compartmentalize like really well, and it might be, it might, we'll open this up, we'll clarify this, but it might be this devil energy where that's their crutch, is to just dissociate, and not, because you need to feel the feeling and you need to detach. You have to do both. You can't just detach and never feel it. That's not the point. Even the sad feelings, even the worst feelings, you're supposed to feel them. You're always supposed to feel them and have them come up, and then there's a lot of other things that happen. There's many variables, very different potentialities. Okay, but it could also be the opposite, where this person is overcoming a very intricate or very difficult mental quagmire, and they're overcoming their own mental strength, if that makes sense. This is someone that's almost like too smart or too mentally strong, you know, where that gets in your own way. Kind of like how this person, maybe they're so good at making money, or maybe they're so good at manifesting, or maybe they're so good at fucking gardening and shit. You know, like maybe they're just so good at that it's just, it's the over compensation, it's lack of balance, you know. So last position, I feel like I have housekeeping announcements, but my brain is just like, so ooh, okay. We have the one single card, the 8 of Wands, and bottom of the deck we have the 5 of Swords, the Page of Swords, and the Ace of Pentacles. I love it. I love it. I do. Like, I really love this. Like, I feel like this is like winning a competition, or this is like, you know, just getting to the front, or it's like, it's just really competitive, but it feels really good. I don't know, but this Page of Swords just feels really good. It feels very spunky. It feels very sharp and witty and entertaining. This feels more like a great movie. This feels more like The Social Network. You know, how it was kind of like, okay, you know, but, you know, maybe there's like shitty people and they're saying shitty things to each other, but it's like so great writing to watch, you know? It's just very, that's what this really more feels like. So I feel like this is more like a Social Network type of a thing. And then this is definitely things moving forward and whatnot, so. You know, I'm not even concerned about the 5 of Swords. I'm not like feeling any. This might be more of where you know you're in competition with this person, like you have an app and this other person's making the same kind of app that you're making, and it's like, oh my god, you know, I don't know. But like, it just doesn't feel, it feels more like sport, but serious. Like, you know, people are gonna lose jobs or houses or some things, but it's still like sport. This could even be something where it's like, so trading, like I would never leverage, but there's people that absolutely do, and they're really great at it, and they do like great with it. I don't do that, but it's kind of like that. It's a little bit dicey, but it's almost, yeah. That's what that is, where it's like really almost like fun and sexy and like kind of attractive. Guys, honestly, as like an investor, and I manage assets, I manage revenue streams, I have labor that I put into revenue streams. I have revenue streams where it's very passive. I don't put in any labor, like physical labor, and I'm just gonna say that, trading is kind of just gambling. And that's what I like about it. So, I mean, but I do have a personal rule, like for me, like I don't ever short. Like I don't short. I don't believe in it. It's like when I first started getting into crypto in December of 2020, and Jupiter, Saturn, Aquarius, thank you. Whenever I went in to put a short, I kept seeing 𝙼𝚊𝚗𝚗 from the Fountainhead, and how he says at that party that he plays the stock market of people's souls, and that he always sells short. And it was, for me, it's not the right, but I'm kind of getting that this is someone that shorts, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is like someone that's gonna just, all right, let's take a look at this. No, 5 of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles. I'm not really getting that any of this is like a super big deal, to be honest. Like, all this is all like big girls and boys betting tables. Like these two queens. Yeah, these two queens, and even the Page and the 5 of Swords, it's not even like, I'm just not getting anything that's gonna, like, maybe you take like a small loss. Maybe this is strategy. This is like, I'm gonna let that pawn go because I'm gonna take that person's bishop, because this person underplays all the other chess pieces, but they love to use that bishop. So if I just take the bishop away, the 2 bishops and the queen away, I'll be like really cutting off their legs under them. So I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, I'm gonna let this go because I'm gonna gain so much over there. So this really just feels like someone that would make that kind of a sacrifice. It's like, I know what I'm doing. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. 5 of Cups, Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles. Tell me more about this 5 of Cups. Is that like super sad? What do we need to know about it? What message am I here to deliver about that combination with the Queen of Pentacles? Ooh. I was gonna say, whenever it takes that long for something to come out. All right, we have a couple. We have the King and the Queen of Pentacles. We have the 7 of Cups, and we have the Judgment. Okay. So this looks like an issue in this married couple or this business partnership. This looks very kind of innocent, to be honest. With these two, it looks like vagueness and ambiguity. This is so Mars squared Neptune. Vagueness and ambiguity, living in the gray area, you mutable signs, but that's what, something happened with this husband and wife or whatever, like, or these business partners. That vagueness and ambiguity, or the ill-defined expectation, something like that has led to this. So, maybe it's the couple that spends money and doesn't have sex, or whatever it is, whatever happened, I feel like something was kind of ignored there, though. It feels like there was something that was looked over, and it could have been like an honest mistake, like no one tried to ignore it, or no one tried to I think it's better now with the sound like this. But now this week, or whenever this pops off for you, I have people emailing me like in all kinds of different time frames of when my readings like really pop. So I don't know. So, but between these two people, I feel like they have an agreement. This could be a contract or a marriage promise, or, something like that. I feel like there's like some very clear stipulations here. There might even be clauses of what's going to happen should this happen. depending on how bad it is. I'm not getting that it's like super a big deal, but that judgment energy is kind of saying that it is a big deal. So you might have to let somebody go. You might have to renegotiate the contract. You might need to, or just have the conversation. At the very least, I think that people are definitely having the conversation of where performance underperformed, or I don't know, like whatever you're saying. Maybe you're leading a company and you have to have like with your employees or something. Let's take a look at this Queen of Swords and the Devil and the Ace of Swords, because that looks amazing. I know, even with the Devil. Oh, right away, we have the Three of Wands. You know what? I really like this Queen of Swords. I very much like that Queen of Swords. That Three of Wands is telling me that that's the get. So it could be a contact, it could be an overseas deal, it could be a larger, like a platform, like not the third house of the local newspaper, but like the ninth house of an international Condé Nast publication, publishing your article or whatever. You know, it's kind of like that. So it's almost like this person could, I don't know, like litigate or negotiate or otherwise strategize. They will be putting the pieces in place though, this Queen of Swords. This is someone that is using their words and using their communication. This could even be someone that's recruited for that very skill. Maybe, you know, like Johnny Depp's lawyer, Camille Vasquez, you know, it's like, you know, she's got the stuff. You know, this could be someone that's like recruited for that skill, or someone's just using that skill to, but honestly, like that Devil card is kind of just telling me that, again, like someone's just willing to, this is someone willing to conquer themselves. This is like someone saying like, I know I'm competitive. I know I'm greedy. I know I want to be the first, or I want to be the best, or I know that I want this. I know, you know, like this is someone that they can be detached enough to know that about themselves. They know what they want. They know what they want to feel. They know what they want to think. They know how they want to move through the world and how they do. Like they know all of that. So I feel like this is them overcoming something that they also know about themselves that keeps them from that win, the bigger win. So this is like, they know they have to sacrifice a vice, you know, putting out a little pawn, you know, letting go of something that was holding them. So that could be, God, that could be so many things. You know, if depending on what this is for you, the simplest example would be, I know that I want to be strong enough to lift my own weight over my head. So I'm going to really eat right and work out really consistently and drink all my water and do all of the things that are clearly spelled out. You know, I don't have any big prohibitions of, you know, extra hurdles to overcome. So, okay, it's going to be, if I just do this, I'm going to get this result. You know, I feel like this person is looking at their life or whatever their situation is like that. Like they know they have a crutch, or they know they have a vice, or they know they have a fear, or they know they have an addiction, or they know they have a, I don't know, whatever. This could be anything from, probably not food, you know, but this could be anything, kind of anything that is keeping them from growth and expansion. But it's like that double-edged sword. I feel like what they really want will give them maybe some form of success, but it will also like stretch them in some way, or it will also have some, it's kind of confrontational to whatever their crutch is. You know, that's like, you don't want to live somewhere because maybe the laws in that town prohibit you from doing something that you love to do. but maybe your grandma lives there, you know? So you're like, okay, I'm gonna go be with my grandma, but you know, it's gonna suck that I can't, you know, I don't know, whatever. It's kind of like that. Or I wanna do this job, but I know I have to take this training, and I hate this teacher, and I hate whatever, and I'm really impatient, and I don't want to do it. You know, it's just one of whatever it happens to be. This person has an incredible ability to understand all different sides of themselves, and so they're making this like superior decision, knowing all of the how each part of them is going to feel after they make this decision. Like they know there's going to be a part of them that's going to regret it. They know there's going to be a part of them that wants it to stay the same. They know that there's a part of them that wants to go back, you know, and they're just like, I want the big kahuna, like I want the big win, I want that. This could also be writing or some kind of communications thing that you're doing, and just overcoming some kind of something that was keeping you from maybe just doing it, just doing the thing, writing the thing, or you know what I'm saying, like, oh, you always have an excuse, you always have a procrastination, you always have a whatever. That's an easy one, easy example too. Okay, let's take a look at the 8 of Wands. What is all of this movement here? And I think I will take a look at this Ace of Pentacles, and it just looks so fun. It really does. It looks like some, ooh. Okay, we have one card, goodness gracious, and it is the 6 of Cups. The soulmate card. So that looks really lovely, actually. That looks like you're hearing from someone that you're very happy to hear from. What's interesting is that it's the 6, you have the 5, the 6, and the 7 of Cups throughout all of this. This feels very separate. It feels like maybe there's something in a partnership that needs some recalibration in one area of your life, and it looks mostly financial. And that might be the problem if it's like supposed to be more. But that's like a separate, your work life thing. And then there's this other thing over here with the Queen of Swords. But at some point during this week or whenever this manifests, you're going to be connecting with someone, like an old friend, or you know, someone you grew up with, maybe reconnecting with a sibling, or you know, a best friend that you used to have a long time ago, or you could even be vacationing at a place that you had liked before. It could be something like that too. These stories are somehow connected, and I don't know how or why. I'm just the messenger. All right, let's take a look at this. Being nosy. It's this Ace of Pentacles, 5 of Swords, Page of Swords. And thank you. And we got a 2 of, I was hoping for something a little more exciting than the 2 of Pentacles here. But we get what we get. 2 of Pentacles, to clarify. That is some sneaky shit. That is just some, like the 2 of Pentacles with all of this, it just feels like you're in the arcade and you're running back to get more tokens and getting your tickets out and getting your snack and cashing in the tickets for a prize, and then going to get more coins, and then going to play the games, and then getting the tickets. Like, it feels like that. That's exactly what I'm getting with this 2 of Pentacles. So I'm just gonna say, like, be very careful with like transactions and fees. Like, just keep a really close eye on the ledgers, okay? And make sure that that's really tight and very precise. Like, be nitpicky about that. Be very nitpicky. Stop everything, go back, make everyone put eyes back on it. Like, just make sure that that is like very pristine, because That could be like something like an error, but it would be kind of malicious. Like it could, maybe it's like your team or your efforts that you're overlooking something, but it can also be that you do an oversight or something happens where there's an oversight and it allows malicious attack, you know, or it allows like a competition thing. You know, whatever it might be about this competitive stuff, it might just come down to something way more simple. That might be why I'm not really getting anything super malicious about this. It might just come down to who can juggle it better, or who can organize it better, or who can put in the data the cleanest, or who can write the cleanest code. Like, I don't know, but like it might just come down to that, who wins the thing. But just like I said, be careful, because if there are any, like, there's something about hitting that button, you know, like there's something that is just feels so good to trade or take bets or place bets, or and like, I know it's heartbreaking and people die and kill themselves about it. Like, I totally know that. I'm just speaking from personal experience. So, you know, just be careful of that. Just be a little careful of that. This could be like making a big purchase, like kind of like I think you know the word, making a big purchase like randomly, like not really well thought out. Making a big purchase impulsively. Mother of pearl, why did that take me so long? So be careful of that. Otherwise, like, this all looks, this is it. This is your message. I wish I had more of the detail, but I'm only here to give you like what you have all the rest of the detail. I'm just here to fill in the other stuff. So this must be the other stuff. Wow, all right. Right on. Yeah, I'm gonna be really reaffirming, like getting a lot of clarity, getting things in writing, going back to make sure everyone understands their roles and expectations, the deadlines, whatever that is, because the business can kind of suffer with these two. And they're not gonna like that. These people are very results oriented and driven, and they're not gonna want to hear that. That, oh, you thought, you know, that's not gonna cut it with like these people. You cannot underperform and like, and then go to like these kind of people and say, well, I thought you meant this, or I thought I could do that, or like the whole, I'm hearing I thought. That's not, they're not gonna hear it. All right, let's see what the, and I don't know what the blackout curtain is. All right, bottom of the deck, the Wren. Be bold and confident. Use all of your resources to create your dreams. Oh man. Use all of your resources to create your dreams. I feel like they're trying to use their resources to create their dreams. But you know, it could be a little bit nebulous. This could also be a little bit like Mars Neptune, where you try to make the dream real, but maybe it was a little too ill-defined, or like something was, I don't know. Don't worry about it. I'm not getting anything like super negative. It just looks like a very exposing moment. That's all. You know, you can still keep this going. It's, you just need to see this big expose of, you know, you need to see the vulnerabilities and the weaknesses so that you can fortify them. And if this happens to be a marriage, just saw a TikTok, cannot take credit for this, just saw a TikTok about biologically born males and females, how we bond. And apparently biologically born, or you know, females bond, what's it, oxytocin, and then the males, those hormones are 𝚃𝚟𝚟. I think I said that wrong, but it's basically a chemical about accomplishment and overcoming things. So you know you're in your masculine energy when you really bond through shared accomplishment. Like, we got through this together. I can really see how that just doesn't work in a lot of marriages because, you know, maybe the feminine dominant person or the wife is just like being super emotional and just wants to be heard and nurtured and understood. And that masculine dominant person is like, come on, we can do it. Let's be optimistic. Let's overcome this, you know? They're both just trying to bond in totally different ways. Womp, 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 you know? So if that's you, you know, I was shown that TikTok to talk to you about it so that you know now too, in case you didn't see that TikTok. All right, you have 3 other cards that popped out. You have the white turkey. The power to heal the earth is within you. I'm getting something exercisey with this. This is almost like some kind of exercise, or this is almost like an exercise where you go out and like go climb a mountain as part of it, or maybe you drive to a location. There's something very like interactive with exercise is what I'm getting with that, okay? Canary, step forward now and sing your song. There is power in finding your voice. That could even be this Queen of Swords. If this is someone that usually doesn't take a strong side, maybe they always love to play the, what's that called? Like staying on the fence, you know, kind of just avoiding controversy and not outright denouncing something, not because they don't want to be seen as taking a side, that kind of a thing. So that could be something that this person's overcoming, and they need to use their voice. That is also a very Mars retrograde. I mean, if you're watching this anytime around Tuesday, November, or I'm recording it Tuesday, what, beginning of November 2022, because Mars is one of the planets that individuates us. Because when you don't fight for anything, when you don't have a strong opinion either way, and you blend in with everybody else, and you blend in with the, and you need that for your 11th house. You need to be able to dissemble and be part of the group and put little parts of you down so that everyone can get along. But Mars isn't the one that does that. It's not Mars, it's Venus. Mars is like, no, I feel strongly about this, and I'm gonna champion, I'm gonna fight for it because this is what I believe in. And that person suddenly stands out from everybody else, for good or bad, and they have character, they have personality, and they're more colorful. Okay, so there's power in finding your voice. This person may be doing that. And then last but not least, you have the chickadee. The time is right to release old patterns and energies. You are ready to embrace change. So that could be this too. This could be old patterns that are, this is like the crutch, you know, whether that's, okay, I'm a Capricorn, right? So it's like all you hardworking people, like workaholics, it's like a thing that we use, being a workaholic, to avoid personal relationships. And it's called something, I don't know what it's called, you can look it up. But when I saw that there's like a therapy group for family members of entrepreneurs, I was like, whoa. So, you know, devil card in tarot could also always be that. So it doesn't have to be drugs and alcohol, you know, it could also be things like weird eating habits, or definitely any kind of like body dysmorphia, or any kind of you know, deep dark secret. You don't want to see, like Liv Tyler in the Record Store movie, where she's like this perfect type girl, but she pops pills and no one, it's like her big secret, you know, or maybe she throws up or something, you know, or, you know, like you don't want people to see that, you want everyone to see something else. That could be something that this Queen of Swords, depending on how much self-control they have, but they have self-awareness, so they're cashing that chip in to get something else, to get that Three of Wands, which is success. And that's like international, that's like big exploration, explorative success. And it might be mental. This might be like it's almost like I'm gonna take a lower paying job because I want the training, because I want to learn. And what I learn in 6 months, I'm gonna make that shit go far the next 6 months. You know, it's kind of like that. This person might be really, really caring about what they put themselves around mentally, like mental stimulation. You know, I want to be around a certain type of person so I can talk to them in the in-between moments, maybe like getting coffee or doing this and doing that. Like I want to pick their brain and I want to ask them questions and I want to learn about them. I want to learn what makes them tick, that kind of thing, you know. That's kind of what I'm getting with that. Releasing old patterns and energies, you are ready to embrace change. So I feel like everyone here is doing great. Everyone here is ready to level up. That's a couple. This is a single person. This couple could be like business partners or family partners or, you know, whomever. And overall, it's pretty competitive. But it's funny because it could come down to who's, you know, either the most organized or maybe the most prudent trader or analyst, that kind of thing. It could be something like that, or who does like the cleanest code writing, that kind of thing. So, okay, I love you guys. Take very good care. Until next time, many beautiful blessings upon all of your beautiful heads, darlings.